Probably one of the most compelling reasons that I paint the things that I paint is because I'm a sort of a rebel. My name is Reid. I'm an artist and a dad and a doctor. And I've always been kind of a creative character, kind of a rambunctious, restless, soul. I don't paint or I don't color in the lines. I'm not a very traditional sort of character at all, and I spend much of my time in my paid job in a more traditional kind of environment. The bell rings. I call this the ICU for me. It's the intensive care unit. It really takes care of me. And I am able to express myself in ways here that are, there are no boundaries. I can do whatever I want here. I was the last in my class academically, last in my high school class. Some of my classmates, I'm sure in high school, just think, that can't be the same guy. Oh my gosh, he must have done well in the prison system. I work at a major medical center in Rochester, Minnesota. My training is in chronic facial pain. It's hard for me to process the volume of suffering and anguish that I have experienced over the years, and I have this beneficent urge, I want to help them, but so many of my patients have chronic, unremitting pain. Though I never had any expectation that I would recreate them here, you can see them everywhere in some of the characters that I do. I never know when they're going to show up. Sometimes I'll do a painting and we'll step back and just think, God, where did you come from? And I feel terrible sometimes for these creatures that I paint. I think a lot of people have this expectation that artists are really very contemplative and have a purpose when they approach their art form or their medium. I really don't, other than it's therapeutic and emancipating and energizing and meditative for me. It seems that my inner world or the psychological and emotional machinations that are occurring in my head, my soul, somehow find themselves on the canvas. And in that sense, it's probably a lot more effective than psychotherapy or Prozac. It's been a real plus for me that my studio is right downtown Rochester, sort of in the epicenter of downtown Rochester. There's a sense of energy that really does sort of leak into the studio. I guess, if anything, I'm an abstract expressionist in some ways. Many of these characters who are not sort of traditional, they might have their nose coming out of the side of their face, or they have odd-looking features. Part of that, I think, is my own expression of escaping from tradition and contrived sort of traditional behaviors of people that wear suits and ties like I do every day. I'm probably not the most confident guy around, and I think many of these characters really are autobiographical, but they also represent the vulnerable souls that I've seen in my paid job. I think the story I'm telling is one of humility and compassion. And if I can keep telling that story, I don't care if I ever sell another piece.